Welcome, 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 everyone. Hello. Hi, Ramus. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to my weekly. Hello, everyone. This is Lily Kolosova. Welcome to Divine Justice. Today, we're going to talk about divine justice. So, welcome to my art studio, everyone. Today is actually June 25th, 2023. This is Lily Kolosova, and today I'm going to be talking about divine justice. Hello, Yanni. Hello. So, we're going to talk a little bit today about the age of Aquarius. And so, this is why today I want to bring in the astrological meaning of Saturn. And since it is a perfect timing, which is a divine timing for everything, like I said, right? There is perfect timing for everything, just like it says in the good book, right? Oh, Allah. Aloha, Teresa. Aloha. So, we're going to talk a little bit about the meaning of the age of Aquarius and what this Saturn retrograde means and how to use it, what's the meaning of it, and how we can spiritually use it to help us to clear ancestral stuff. So, anyway, you guys, the reason for me to do this is to kind of share my experiences of what I've gone through with everything, because this is literally what and I talked about this for years. So those of you that been here with me, you guys, those of you, my loyal listeners, my travelers, on the master quest, because that's what it is. It's self-mastery. And so those of you that been marching on this quest alongside, going through this quickening period, like I called it in 2016. It is a quickening period or a quantum leap that humanity is taking in consciousness. So we're going to start understand, we're going to go beyond this understanding of light versus darkness. We're going to, and this is what ultimately the self mastery is all about. It's mastering that within yourself. What ultimately, like I said, many of masters before us has left us footprints, and these are including the Christ teachings. It was a self mastery and how to master both sides, the dark and the light, in this reality in order to master it. So here's to all of you, my dear warriors that been on this path, of mastery, discovering your own abilities. And so this is today I want to talk about the gifts that Saturn brings to us, and especially in the age of Aquarius, which we entered just very recently too, due to the astrological signs or the signs in the sky that we know when the Aquarian age has started. So cheers to everyone. This is virgin champagne today. I am in sunny California. So sunny California, of course, means that it's hot. So I need ice in my champagne, but bubbles is a must. Definitely perfect drink, Yanni. Very refreshing. So, yes, I am in sunny California, so it's nice and toasty here today. Nice and toasty. So, those of you guys that are joining me here, so I kind of want to talk today about, because the Saturn retrograde, and many of us have we've been on this, and I talked about the tools the masters have used before us, and how to develop them, the tools, your own tools. Like many of you know that in the past I would use cards, right? So you guys know that this has been my tool for 20 years. This is I do have a deck that's oh, look what's on the bottom. The High Priestess. So anyway, I do have the Tarot of the Spirit deck that's I've been using for 20 some years. That's been my tool. So anyway, and then I've talked a little bit about also always developing your ancestral tool, sort of using your and activating your ancestral knowledge or knowing or your experiences, your ancestral experience, and then implementing all of that stuff in your DNA to then restructure and recode your own DNA in a way to where you master whatever it is that you need to master for your own bloodline to clear that timeline that was invaded. So that to clear the parasitic invasion in your own bloodline. So ultimately, each and every one of us have that sort of mission here is to do that. But what we encounter, it's going to be individually different for each and every one of us. So Saturn went in retrograde on the 17th of June, which is just a week ago. Okay. It will be there through November 4th. Basically, what Saturn is, it's karma and justice. If you will look to for something, so basically what we can use that knowing of what that planet being in retrograde allows us to do is to deliver the karma. Like I said, you have to understand that in order to master your own path, you have to figure out how to master the dark side and to deliver the karma. Like I said last time, I'm a karma delivery. On behalf of innocence. That's who I stand for. The innocence has been abused on this planet long enough, because in order for me to reveal the abuse, what I witnessed and experienced in last 1,000 days, is exactly a demonstration of what I needed to see, right? So those of you guys that know what it is that I needed to clear from my own bloodline, what was truly my other mission, but it's all has to do with your original DNA and who you are on that level. Because what I also learned through going through this spiritual sort of 1,000 days of silence, in which you can learn in the silence in solitude. It is golden for your master quest. It is golden. Teresa, you said lots of factors came up. Zeus, shh, relax, Zeus. Okay, just relax, breathe. Okay, good boy, relax. Okay, Teresa, you said lots of factors came up in bloodline with my personal healing. Realize was my purpose to clear this time around. And this is what ultimately, and I talked about in the past, this is ultimately why I had to talk about it, because in my bloodline in particularly, because like I've mentioned in the past for my father and how much death have my bloodline experience untimely death and murder due to speaking the truth, of being who they are, of all of that stuff. And so, like, I know you guys have mentioned a little bit of the abuse that my bloodline experienced in the hands of Soviets, in the communism, and all of that stuff. Like, and so, and the fear. I mean, the things that I remember is I remember being hidden underneath the old blankets in the closet, and try to crawl into nowhere, just so they can't find you, because this is how Soviet Union government kept their people in fear and under control, is they through children, through their own children. And so if they don't agree with the government, then, like, they come and they threaten you. So in order to scare you, if they see you're stepping out of the line or something like that, they'll come and threaten your kids. And so I remember what happened to me is that we had to hide, because all of a sudden the police came with guns and they were going to take all the kids away. So we had to hide as fast as possible, but we can't. It was too late because they surround the whole house. So all the cars and everything. So we sit in there, and there's more to it. It's because my brother built the radio in the attic. And so, and then because it's runs in my family, communications skills. So that they developed radios, and it was a big no-no in Soviet Union. So they were going to take us all away. I was very young, 6 years old or so. So, and I remember, all I remember is that smell of blanket. And then I see, because the not the police didn't have those guns, but the KGB, like those national, those little bit more, higher level government officials, they had the guns with the knives attached to the barrel. So, and I remember the knife going through the blanket, the sound of that knife going through that blanket. That's the trauma point, right? So that's the trauma point. So a lot of so the thing is, like, in what I've been through with the government here, and then seeing the abuse of the government, and then experience it. But at the same time, seeing Teresa at the every step of the way, my ancestor was helping me, sort of standing right here with me the whole time, so I could heal that. Because everything I went through, I had my own perspective. I looked at it. What is it that I am healing here? Is it that I'm seeing? What is it that I'm observing? And at the same time, like, going through all of my hearings I went through, I've demanded a Russian translator, because I needed a living witness. And it all kind of fell into place, you know? And it's like, you have a whole different perspective on what's happening. And this is what I say, you see it from the top of the mountains. And this is why, like I was saying, until you get there, you can't have that perspective. You can learn all about it in the books. You can read the Bible 300 times. But if you don't get it, you don't get it. So clearing all that and neutralizing, the thing is transmuting and neutralizing and not giving in. That was the biggest thing, not giving in. That was the biggest fight. And this is why what I talked in the past, it was a lot had to do with, because right now the other thing is, because I did a lot of spiritual investigations into how does this, let's say, the spirit of Antichrist, how does it operate? I'm also studying everything. So I have this like intellectual sort of, I need to put everything in intellectual perspective. And this is what, because I am an Aquarius. So my soul path is in Aquarius. My sun path is in Aquarius. So it fits. So my ruling planet is Saturn. So when it retrogrades like this, which is from June 17th of 2023 through November 4th of 2023. And so when I was working here with the people here in California, where I was working with neutralizing the negative sort of entity that is attached to the land through blood sacrifice and all of that stuff. So when I was working there, okay, that entity that possesses people, that one in here was very, very tough one. It's the very one that's um, the original sort of infection. And this is why they are expressing, they choose to express themselves as the Rosicrucians, which is the original Christ teachings. And Rosicrucians actually go to the period of Christ that he's been in Egypt. So that's where that whole teachings come from, is the Christ, the hidden teachings of Christ. The ones that they don't want humanity to know is the ones that he learned in Egypt, that he went through with his scenes. This is the whole thing, and all of that stuff that they've been hiding, and then all of that, the true teachings of Christ. And what they replaced it with, as you guys know, and whatever they found, they put it in Vatican and hid it underneath, and then they used it against humanity. And this is how they created that Bible right now. The Bible that we have, it's full of curses, bloodline curses. But because I was also studying the Freemasons and their deception, and how their deception operates and all of that stuff, I needed to see from inside out in order to know it. Because I'm an Aquarius, I need to know it. So, but this so-called Rosicrucians, they use astrology, because what they did is they, when I went in there, and then I realized that this is all has to do with my ancestral clearing, and I was seeing what it is that's happening in there, what I need to do, and I was guided to just kind of do my thing, because that's what I do. I do my thing. I'm just working with the land. I'm walking the land. I'm doing the thing. And then, so with the kids, we create an art class that lasts for months and all of that stuff. At the same time, I'm going through this psychological abuse by the government. They're calling me every 6 weeks for a hearing, and they continue to torture me, psychological torture nonstop, between constant interviews with all, um I mean, oh my god, interview after interview after interview after interview. So anyways, they kept, I mean, and this is what I said, it's just like, I was looking at it and I couldn't believe it, how much they were willing to like provide me with all of the evidence. Like, even, of all of this abuse that took place, it's like it was incredibly amazing, but at the same time it is sad, because you see how low intelligence, like the justice system. So I had to see how low intelligence system in America had to become in order to infiltrate it. in order to become a pedal club protection services. That's what justice system is in Boulder County, state of Colorado. It's a pedal club protection services. That's what it is. And I have all the proof. And I got all the proof. I got all the cards. And this is what Saturn retrograde will present with the opportunity. Is the cards on the table, bitches. Cards on the table. My experience is my experience. I turned it as a weapon against you. Too bad you didn't have enough intelligence, but it's not my fault. Talk to God about that. To any of those people that are too upset that I'm a little bit more intelligent than them, that I'm 10 steps ahead of them. Oh, there's a different Teresa. Hi, Teresa. Good to see you too. So there, of course, they were all in on it, and they demonstrated to me how they steal children. How does the Nazi sort of propaganda operates? How everything works, you know? And I got to see it up close and personal, and I was like, "Whoa! I had no idea how much God will show me." It was overwhelming. I'm like, oh my God. And I get to experience all of these abuses on all these levels so I can like see everything. So I'm like, I'm seeing everything. Like I said, from a very low level, the effects of those, and this is Boulder County, Colorado. Hello, Go MTV. This is who I originally was interested in investigating. They're supposedly a media company, right? And then a publicly traded company. Guy MTV is publicly traded company. So I wanted to see who they are, really. Opa! This is where it started, you guys. So it really is about media. Um, so Saturn in retrograde and being now in Aquarius age, and so especially for people like me who are on a master quest, and Aquarius in particular, in each and every one of you has an Aquarius in your chart somewhere. So whatever that part, for me, it's my soul journey. So so basically is like is delivering the karma. It's time to deliver the karma. So meaning it's time for truth. It's time for truth, and when the truth is revealed, there is nothing you can do. When the light is shone on the darkness, the darkness it's powerless. And this is what Master is all about. You shine the light on the darkness, and off it goes, and off it goes. So in here, you guys, when I was working with the land, I wanted to see what I was also observing what this entity has affect, how it affects the people that are operating under its umbrella. So in order to communicate with it, Jean, the communicator, the only one communicator that can go and communicate with it, who has a 3-inch coke nail. And I was like, Jean, how many lines of coke do you need to snort in order to communicate with that entity? He literally, you guys, when I told him straight to the face, I know that this entity jumps from individual to individual here. When I said that, his knees started to shake. Just me, little me, 5'2". This guy, who's supposedly the one that communicates with this powerful entity, all-knowing entity, also powerful entity, his knees was shaking. But in order for me to teach classes there, he demanded that I give him my birthday to a T, to a minute. Because people like that who are dark priests, they want to use it against you. So I'm like, oh, so this is what tools the enemies use. So in order for me to win, I had to go undercover and say, okay, I'm gonna give you that information. But I told him, I don't know the time of my birth. I only know the date. So here's half a wheel for you, bitch. Let's see how far you're gonna get on a half a wheel. So these people and the entity that they operate on, so it has to do with a lot. So they use a lot of astrology because they teach astrology and they teach the power of different things and all of that stuff. So this is like, I'm just telling you guys who I was dealing with. But each and every one of us is like my ancestral gifts that I have, because all of them get activated when they use those gifts against you. That's how they activate your ancestral gifts. And this is why, in order to get your power, you kind of have to slay the dragon, as they say, right? But not in the stupid way that they look at it. You have to, in order to you have to transmute, you have to learn how to transmute negative energy. And like with me, see, everyone who they even like with why I was able so easily just sit there, let them do to me what they were doing to me, and just sit there and watch it from a different perspective, as though they are just allowing me to see what is happening, how it is, how deep this an infiltration has gone, what is happening, how much effect has it gone on that, on that America, what it has done, how much it has deteriorated the society, how much it did what it did. So when I sat in there the first night, when they put me in jail, I mean, kidnapped me, assaulted me, attempted to kill me, and then when that didn't work out, because I pulled Bruce Lee on the point cheek, yeah, I pulled Bruce Lee on him. Anyway, so when I sat there and I told them that I can't eat the food, so because I'm allergic to chemicals in the food, and so I'm not going to eat processed food. Can I have an apple or a orange or something, anything? So instead of giving it to me, what they did is they put it right in front of my window, an apple. And then they sat around that table that they put it on, and they watched me, if am I looking or not. And if I was looking in through the window, they sat there and they laughed. And they laughed. And I sit there. So to them, I mean, this is the kind of intelligence. Those people even understand that they are so corroded, that their morality, and this is when I was looking at the morality side, that their morality is so eroded that what brings them joy is inflicting pain on another human being. and in particularly an innocent human being. How low does the morality have to be of the individual in order to be on the level of, I'm going to enjoy inflicting pain and watching this individual in here that's innocent, because until you're proven guilty, you're still innocent, until this innocent individual, so I can sit here and enjoy watching them in hunger, watch their food right in front of their face, but not being able to get it. And it was a show for them. They wanted to watch it and enjoy that. I'm just testing. How low did it go? That's how low the morality is. But that was just the beginning. That was just the first night. Okay? That was just the beginning. So in watching this, and this is why, like I said, I weep because of what I was seeing. Until you actually see it and you don't know. Because you're in your own bubble. You're going through your own stuff, right? Right, Teresa? I was in observer mode. And I was just, but at the same time, I knew that I needed to be there because it was all the pieces were falling into place. Everything, like all of this, how, who, when, why, all of that, because you can see like, okay. Oh, it's not Nazi propaganda at all that you sit in there and looking and laughing, enjoying the suffering of innocent human being. Oh, no, no. No, there is no Nazi propaganda influence in America at all. No, no, not at all. Oh, no, you never got infiltrated by Nazi. Nope. Well, in the 60s and all of that stuff, and then in the 70s and still when all of everybody was looking for communists, the Nazis were sitting smoking cigars and experimenting and stealing your children. And Eisenhower was screaming that it was aliens. But this is where aliens connect to abuse of children. And this is crimes punishable by death. And this is crime punishable by death because the public officials that take oath to protect children and take oath putting their hands on Bible because they take public office, they give oath to Constitution of the United States, what meaning protect innocent. And then they put their hands on that Bible. What does it say in Matthew 18? No, Matthew 10. You better put a rock on your neck and throw yourself in the river if you hurt a child. It is better for you because divine justice is when you put that hand on that Bible and you took a public office, Bob Mueller wannabe. When you took a public office and then you tried to convince me and everybody to work around you to convince me that you can 72 days later, when the law states that you have to 72 hours later after after you arrest someone, provide them with the probable cause. And then he took 72 days and then invited everyone else to conspire with Bob Mueller wannabe and go on record that they're all don't know the difference between 72 hours and 72 days. And I sit there and I go, oh, no. Not Nazis at all. Not at all. Nope. Nope. No, they're all Americans, real Americans. This is so sad at the same time. So, what it become, what it has become, and for them to just, and so I knew that they would do their job, so they would demonstrate for me everything in writing and on record, and it was COVID, everything was on Zoom. Everything was on Zoom. So anyway, you guys, so when you see that, it's all kind of like, to see for yourself what's been happening, and so there is no questions. You go through it, you see who your friends are, who your enemies are, and and when and this is the thing, the only thing that this process, it will strip you of everything that no longer serves you. It will strip you of everything that you think it still serves you. You don't know it yet. It will strip you of that too. So in the process, I learned to just have faith that whatever I am experiencing, it's not happening to me, it is happening for me. When you change that perspective and you actually don't just build this belief system in your head and make it just like an affirmation, but you actually live it. It's not happening to me, it is happening for me. So now you look at the soil that when you were that little seed just broke out of the hardest part of that shell of the seed, and you going towards the sunshine, and it's so hard for you to push through that darkness. But now you've reached the sun. So now you know that soil underneath you that holds you up, the roots. Now you grow into that as well. So, yes, faith and trust in yourself. And this is what roots you in that original organic timeline that we talked about for years. And then people started talking about fifth dimension. Oh, 5D this, 5D that. 5D is a principle. It's a principle. It's a master principle. As within, so without. You align your internal to external. And this is the mastery. And this is the mastery. So, in my internal, what my ancestral, all of my ancestral experience, it has to neutralize it. I was born to neutralize it, to transmute it, to end the cycle of abuse for my bloodline. And if somebody don't like it, too bad. Too bad. Too bad. If someone don't like it, too bad. Too bad, you guys, because I've encountered so many people that have surrendered to the enemy, that they've surrendered. And this is what ultimately, this is why my handler wannabe were there. He just, vampire, the energy vampirism, it's one thing, but the other thing is it's like to not allow you to shed a light on the very sort of this had allowed, let me just say this had allowed me, the experience with him had allowed me who he is and how he was conceived and how he is on the spiritual level, and being with the depth of that. A lot of the dark priests right? And the occult that's been spread into New Age communities. And this is why I had to battle this entity over here that is a New Age entity. And so, and that their connection is actually, and so that connection, that funny connection, like I started it with Goyim TV. I mean, Goyim TV. Oops, forgot that I'm not supposed to say the real names. And so Goyim TV is not a media company. It's a Club Idiots assembly. It's actually so basically, that whole propaganda, the Eisenhower propaganda, that aliens. So this is why the blue avians came into play and everything. Yeah, a publicly traded media company. So, and they're talking about blue avians. So it's just same shit, different day. Remember when they had that guy in the 90s with purple blankets? The guy with purple blankets, remember? That they all like poison themselves and cover themselves. They wore Nikes shoes, and they put the purple blankets on themselves, and then they drink poison. So basically, the blue avians was that poison. So this is just like, this is your Nazi propaganda, because Nazi, they poison the mind too. So this is your mind control. It's all comes from experience, and this is why, like, secret space program, this is why all the children that speak about it, they talk about it, that they were experimented on with mind control as children. And so this has all happened because the military sign up their children for it as well. And this is because when that bloodline, when they do this sort of group, when all associated with it, and then they have all these people that serve them, they just don't know it. Okay, because that's how the enemy operates. They all pretend to be Christian churches and stuff. Like this people over here on this Rosicrucian Fellowship, they pretend to be a Christian church. But anyway, so they wanted to basically, what they thought is that as soon as I started doing the art classes, and it generated a lot of sort of a very positive energy, it attracted a lot of people, and a lot of beautiful energy, and a lot of people to it. So they basically thought that, let's just say that what I needed to learn here, though, the last part, is how this entity on a collective level operates. So it's a group of people that were basically working together then to set me up, and kind of like, and then steal my intellectual property and my destiny, because they work in a spiritual level as well. And so a lot of like dark priests, they pay all these people out there, the healers, card readers, and then to put spells on, to do all that dark work. So they call their dark priests have access only to their dark lords. But the thing is like Christ had shown us in even in what they left in the Bible, we still can see that he still won the battle on a spiritual level. They all can celebrate that they drew his blood and kill him in the physical. Whatever. But now they can't, because there's multitude of Christed beings. And they can't kill us all. They can try. I mean, this is what my handler want to be. This is what his specialty is. Softly and slowly unaliving you. Softly and very, very slowly. He's done it before. I am not the the first one. He just failed with me. That's all there is to it. Heaven's Gate. Yes, Ankovich. Heaven's Gate. So the blue avians, that's the blueprint, that's the Heaven's Gate. So they pretty much that made that public and kind of went that. But when Gaiam TV, how they started as a yoga company selling yoga products. yoga mats and all of that stuff. So anyway, so the thing is, what we're gonna see right now with this divine justice and what it's gonna bring. So we're gonna see it all the way through November, unraveling, unveiling, and a lot of that. And it's a very positive thing for even though it is retrograde, what it does, it actually unravels your internal into external. So the truth will just gonna unfold. There is just no way the darkness, it's gonna have to surrender to the truth. And this is what Saturn retrograde is gonna kind of show us. We're gonna see the truth. So like what I've seen, in the system, going through the system and going through it, okay, and going through it and seeing, like, getting so close to my enemies, facing the demons, facing the biggest, the entities, and trusting that your ancestral will be there with you. I mean, and this is what I've learned through doing a lot of investigating into spiritual world, and so some shamanic journeys, a lot of shamanic journeys through the through the 1,000 days of silence, a lot of hypnosis with Carrie, my dear friend that helped me through get through to where she helped me to get into that spiritual side of things, and see the other side of this path and what needs to be done, and what this experience will provide me with, what tools and what abilities, and how it will elevate my individual path, and where the mastery for me individually lies. So I've encountered miracles, and I've encountered people that gave me so much. And even this experience with even my handler wannabe, people might not understand. They say, Lily, what a terrible experience you went through with such a I think this individual is so mentally like ill, because this is what this such a deep the cult, because this is what this is a cult. This is cult. So this is heaven's gate, is just in a different form. So he went through this, and the kind of abuse it takes, and the fear that it takes to instill to keep everybody in line, like their first degree. If they don't keep the secrets, if they don't, how do you live life enjoying the waking up in the morning knowing that if you don't keep this organization's secrets there, if you don't keep the crimes against children hidden for them, your throat's going to be cut, because that's the promise you made. How are you going to wake up every morning being happy that sun is shining upon you? You can't. Well, welcome to second degree. Your heart's going to be cut out if you don't keep those secrets. On the second degree, if there any of them secrets come out, your heart's going to be cut out. Welcome to second degree masonry. And then the third degree, that's what everybody strives for. That if they don't keep those secrets on that level, so imagine the kind of bloody secrets there are on the third degree, with the third degree. Their guts are going to be open, and they're going to fall to the floor, and they're going to watch their guts on the floor, and that's how they're going to die if they don't keep their secrets. This is what they sign for. This is what they stand there and say, okay. How much intelligence do you think that individual has? They know occult. They know how to conjure up demons and send them my way. in the moon, bitches. Come on, get in line, get in line, get in line. Like I said, there is a line to curse me. Get in line, bitches. Get in line. And they would come in here in my comments and try to curse me. Like laughing, get in line, bitches. My ancestors got your sorry ass. All right? So anyway, you guys, I'm just being me. This is what I've experienced. This is what's happening out there. And so right now, but because you guys, I can tell you what, I always said that, and even to um to this people, I made predictions to that entity. And I told them, and that prediction actually happened about 6 months after they kicked me out, and I walked out with my wet feet washed off. The ceremony of cleansing was finished. I'm like, I am completely finished. But anyway, so in order for them, so what they did is they also got a copy of my passport in order for me to teach art classes in the little house that is just a room, but they wanted to control it so much that they would have at least 4 adults sitting in there watching my classes and continue to text what's happening and report and all of that stuff. The net control over that. And it was just like, why God? But the thing is, what I found out, how it's all connected and everything that I've experienced. And so because of the rank of my handler, but the thing is, what they don't understand is they think they're in control of that darkness. And a lot of times, what a lot of the propaganda was in New Age is for all of those of us that have any powers, especially females, we were all been stolen, our powers been stolen. In which way? Where they submit us to serve them and serve their agenda. And so this is what ultimately my handler wanted to be, why he was why I had to be so careful, because my life was online. Because if he thinks that I cannot be controlled, what happens then? Okay? If he thinks that the death rituals don't work on me because my ancestors installed the auto thing that goes on autopilot, return to sender, none of it will ever work. And so couple of those healers up here and readers and all of that, they're agreed for money. They took their own lives out. Because when you send death towards a divine being that has returned to sender on autopilot, oppa, things happen. Things happen, and your body starts decomposing while you're still breathing, and you don't know why. Well, what goes around comes around. This is Saturn retrograde, boomerang effect. Boomerang effects. And because it's in retrograde, everything, so just like I was saying, you've been going up, up, up. So now through the retrograde, you can release all of that collective. So now this is a good time to release the collective karma out of your individual sort of field. So this is basically what divine justice for you individually are. So like for me, what is divine justice for me? I've just documented I've documented the abuses of the government on every level. I've documented on all levels. I didn't leave any hole. Who do I have to be grateful for it? To all of those people that were slaves and had no idea that I was not there to submit to their slavery, that I was there to record their crimes. They didn't know that. That's why I was being the Aquarius, the aloof Aquarius, the whole time. Oh, okay. Let's see what's going on here. Oh, really? Is that what's going on? Oh, is that what you do? Is that what your job is? Oh, so, oh, okay, okay. So how many cases do you have with the children right now? Oh, so how many children are right now? Well, I'm asking her, how many cases do you have with young children involved? She thinks that's what I'm asking her. I'm asking her, how many children is Boulder County seizing right now unlawfully? That's my question, but I ask her, how many young children are involved in your cases? You just told me you have 100 active cases. How many of those cases involve young children? Well, I can't tell you that because they're under 18 and I cannot tell you. Well, I'm not asking you their names. I'm just asking you a number. That's not going to expose who the children are. I cannot expose the children to you. That's what she says. Oh, not limited intelligence at all. She's like, I'm not. I said, I'm not asking you their names or even ages. I said, since you told me that you can't, just give me the number. I said, you don't even have to be accurate. What do you think, approximately? How many children? In those cases, since you're working on those cases right now. So Boulder County right now has 100 cases. Okay. Let's see. So anyway, so it's just like, but what I see is totally different thing. What I'm looking is a totally different thing. And so I could be angry, right? Oh my God, what is going on here? But in fact, I'm like, wow, what I in my journals predicted what I'm going to go through and what I'm going to discover, it had to match up with my external reality. And this is how I was going to release my ancestral stuff. And here it is. The timing of it is perfect. Because right now we see it. We see it. And even the astrological signs in the sky, they're all showing us it's time for divine justice. And first, it starts with us. And what I've learned in this 1,000 days in silence and solitude is I am unbreakable. They can't break me. They can't just break me. And that's the thing. I just, when you stand with Most High, there's nothing you can do. Their power is what? They're gonna send a big bad entity after you. Okay. All right. So it's just how you look at it. How you look at it. So I look at this experience. I've learned so much, you guys. It elevated me. It given me so much juice to grow, so much soil to grow my creation. I mean, in the process, I developed an art therapy course. In this whole process, I learned how to make documentaries. In this whole process, I learned who I am. In this whole process, I learned about my royal intellect, my true bloodline. It was just like, it's golden. The healing is so valuable. It is so beautiful. It is like a blooming of a rose. And this is what it is. It's when they put concrete over you and you still break through that concrete and then you bloom. And that's what I intend to do. And that's what I am. I'm blooming in this season because this is my season now. I am a karma delivery. I specialize in this. In that. So I specialize in karma delivery. So welcome to the purge. Welcome to the purge. No more of this embarrassment with this new age bullshit that's been happening, and all these people that been committing these crimes, protecting all of this stuff, all of these stupid ideologies, and been all exposed. You're all exposed. They're all exposed. And so, and even though this is why they're hiding all in the holes. Where's David Wilcock and his blue avians? Opa! What happened? Go MTV. No more blue avians? What happened? What happened, David Wilcock? Blue avians didn't come? Opa! He's talking right now about Archangel Michael is coming to save him now. Yes, Ramus, extremely true. Concrete, yes, I had to grow through the concrete. I am that rose. I am the rose that grew through the concrete. That was the experience I went through. That was the experience I went through. Absolutely. So anyway, you guys, may your journey, your quest, your master quest be blessed, you guys. Enjoy every minute of it. Learn to laugh at it. I was laughing by the time I was when the second time they put me in jail. After about 3 days, I had the whole jail laughing. We had so much good time. And I disarm all the and even the guards were laughing with us, and then they all provided me with everything what I needed. So anyway, always on the cover. I love you all so much. Thank you so much, each and every one of you, for being here. It is really a blessing. And Ramus, Teresa, Cindy, another Teresa, Ankovich, thank you so much for being here. You're always the best, providing me with information. You're a record keeper. You're awesome. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. So you guys, I do love it that you join me here, and I really feel your love and your support. And I give you all my love. Mwah. Love you all so much. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Until next Sunday, stay wild, everyone.